The problem is we only have about 2 to 3% of the world's oil reserves.
I've heard people say that there's only 2%. That is a figure that was arrived at in 1955. We have new estimates with new technology. We think we have about 20% of the world's reserves in fossil fuels, and we're not producing them. I've heard the argument this wouldn't change the price of gasoline. It's not quick enough. I've heard that 25 years ago.
There are a couple of alternatives. One are biofuels. I was down in Brazil. A third of their cars are run on biofuels, mostly ethanol made out of sugarcane. Be able to develop technologies where we are building more efficient biofuels than we're currently using. Right now, we use most of our ethanol comes from corn. It would be better if we can get farmers to work with industry to figure out whether we can use wood chips or algae or
America, I keep telling you, you are being taxed by an administration that does not understand the necessity for fossil fuels for our economy. The movement of product, the receiving of product, and the shipping of product. The deliverance of people, the deliverance of supplies by air, ship, train, plane, and automobile and truck. That's what makes this country great. And here we sit with a group that says, oh, we're going to save the environment. I'm all for that. But you don't have an energy policy, and you can't have it without fossil fuels. Anybody says we're going to have one without fossil fuels is not even thinking about fuels, not even thinking about energy.
Number one goal has to be to create dramatic economic growth. You get back to 4% unemployment, you shrink that estimate. The number two thing, which nobody counts in my tax plan, I have a program to unleash American oil and gas to produce, and the estimate by the guy who developed North Dakota is that there's $16 to $18 trillion in potential royalties to the federal government over the next generation if you, in fact, open federal land and offshore. So you start adding in what we get out of becoming, my goal is to be so independent in energy production that no American president ever again bows to a Saudi king. Now, if you have that level of American production, $500 billion a year more in domestic energy production, the royalties that pays is a substantial part of plugging that hole.